everyone, Zeddy here again with another March of the Lich King card review. It's midnight my time, but there's a bunch of Hunter cards to go over, and we got the last Rogue card revealed, which is just, of course, it's absurd. It's Rogue, and well, we're gonna go over all of them. The Hunter archetype, by the way, just a weird one. Gonna be impossible to evaluate, but it should be pretty fun to try. And well, if you want to win some of these cards, we have a giveaway going on. In this video here, it's why I'm on it. All you have to do to enter is like and comment on the video. It's in the link to the description below. We're giving away 3 mega bundles, 2 regular pre-orders out of my pocket. If we manage to hit 61,000 subs by Sunday, I will add another mega bundle. So if you haven't subbed already, hit that button, make me go broke. So before we get into the Hunter cards, let's take a look at this Rogue card, which was spoiled the Death Knight event, but we didn't cover that. And then yes, Celestalon, or Mams in particular, revealed it on Twitter, and it is Ghostly Strike, a 1 mana spell, deal 1 damage, draw a card. If this card seems just a little bit familiar to you, there's an old classic or basic card or whatever it was. I think it was classic. Shiv, which was a spell that did 2 damage, or for 2 mana would deal 1 damage, draw a card. So for half the mana, you get the same effect, but you do have to combo it. Not particularly difficult when it's only 1 mana. It's cheap draw, it's burn. It is an incredibly good card that will be auto include in a lot of different decks. Like, it's just a really solid card. All the decks that like to combo will run it. You know, maybe just value centric decks won't run it, but overall it's just like an auto include 5-star card in standard, and probably a 4-star card. Wild, the only thing I don't see running it in Wild is, I guess, like Pirate Rogue. That's probably it. But other than that, this is just a ridiculously good card. It is an auto-include card. Rogue seems to get a lot of that. You got the legendary spell, you got Ghostly Strike. This is just, yeah, an insanely good card. And well, we've got a bunch of Hunter cards, and it's all about the arcane spells, arcane damage. It's a different style of archetype, that is for sure. Does that mean Quest Hunter's coming back if we're dealing damage? Please don't. We don't want that. We have the Ricochet Shot. Is it named after the professional wrestler? Deal 1 damage to 3 random enemies. It's arcane, and we just saw a Demon Hunter spell that deals 1 damage to all enemies. But there is the benefit of how it interacts with spell damage. So if this is boosted, it will deal 2 damage to 3 random enemies. It'll deal 3 damage to 3 random enemies. But so with the 1 mana Fel spell. It's just what a Demon Hunter is just a special thing. But yeah, I mean, it's solid. It's not bad. It goes face. It doesn't just hit minions, and it works really well with spell damage. Is that going to be a thing in Hunter? Well, we'll take a look. There are some cards that boost this, but overall, it just seems like for Hunter, which thrives on fighting for board and playing beast or going face. Let's be real, going face. But typically through minions, the only deck that kind of bucked that trend was the Hunter Quest, which got nerfed pretty recently. Hasn't seen much play since. I just don't want it to get boosted by this. I think it's a 2-star card in Standard and Wild. I don't see it as like, I don't think Quest Hunter's coming back, and I'm really not sold on this arcane spell damage stuff, but maybe there's just enough here to make it work. But so far, I feel like it's a standalone card. You don't really want to run it, but you never know. Maybe it is good enough. We have the Conjured Arrow, 2 mana arcane spell. Deal 2 damage to a minion, right? Mana Thirst 6, draw that many cards. So my interpretation of this is if it deals 2 damage, then it will draw 2 cards. If it's bumped by more than that, let's say you get it up to 6 damage somehow. Well, at 6 mana Thirst, of course, you have to get to 6 mana. You will then draw 6 cards, right? That's incredible. So this card, again, bad on its own. It's a bad card without mana thirst, without the spell damage. Like, you're looking at Holy Smite in Priest, deal 1 mana, deal 3 to a minion. This is double the cost, so you really got to get that arcane spell damage going. But if you get it going, this is an incredible card. But if I've learned anything at Hearthstone, if a card standalone is pretty bad without some real help, and the help does seem pretty clunky, I don't see this as a thing. There is a legendary that will help this. There is some stuff that will help it. And it just, like, it feels weird in Hunter. I'm going to give this a 2 stars in Standard, 2-star in Wild. Again, it could work. It could, but like, It's a weird one. It's a weird one, and well, let's continue down this train of just weird stuff. We have the Eversong Portal, another arcane spell. 4 mana, summon 4/4 links with rush. So that's actually pretty good. For 4 mana, a 4/4 rush, that is good just on its own. So, right, like this is one of those cards where, okay, I feel all right playing. If I gotta play it on curve without any spell damage, it's fine. However, it gets improved by spell damage. And again, we're gonna go with my assumption that the stats improve and that you don't summon more of them, because that would just be broken, right? For 4 mana, summon 2/8/4/4s. I would assume it becomes a 5/5, a 6/6, depending on the spell damage you get. And again, this is one of the better cards. Again, you don't even have to run spell damage for the most part, but you kind of really do. Like, you don't want to play a fair card, but of the cards, I feel like this one is a bit better. I'm more willing to give this a 3 out of 5 in standard, 2 out of 5 in wild, because I don't see Arcane Spell Damage Hunter really bucking the trend of Hunter decks in wild. But yeah, Eversong Portal, definitely to me, a little bit better, but you could also argue that it can't go face, like the 1 mana spell, which gets a lot better, right? Like, you amplify that. So overall, yeah, I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in standard, 2 out of 5 in wild, but again, not super sold on it. But you do have ways to amplify the spell damage. There's 2 ways in particular here, and the first being Silver Moon Farstrider. It is a 2 mana 2/3 minion river croc. Yet again, no tribe though. Battle Cry. Give all arcane spells in your hand spell damage +1. So this will buff the spell. It'll give it +1. You can play 2 of these, like turns 2 and 3, and then all of a sudden you're summoning a 6/6 links. Is that amazing? It's all right, but when I feel like it's just all right, it's just not great. I don't know. You can brand it, of course, and all that shenanigans, but overall, like, it's just to me. This whole arcane spell dam is just weird, but yeah, it only buffs the arcane spells too, right? It has to be arcane. All the other spells don't get it. If anything's going to make this work out, I guess it's this card. There's a legendary too we'll take a look at in just a second, and there was that other there was one on a reveal. We'll take a quick look in the reveal cards as well. There's one spell I believe that also would buff Arcane Quiver. Discover a spell from your deck. If it's arcane, give it spell damage +1. I think that was all of the buffers. Like, it just doesn't feel like it's enough. And yeah, to make it worth playing this card, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 in standard, 2 out of 5 in wild. I am not sold on this arcane spell package. I will love to be proven wrong. We'll have the how could I be so wrong about this stuff, but it just feels so awkward. It just feels awkward. This whole archetype feels weird, where like you're playing, like you got to have a bunch of spells in your hand to make this worth it too. It's not in deck. I'm just not sold. I'm gonna give it 2 out of 5 in standard, 2 out of 5 in wild. And yeah, lastly, we do have the legendary minion that goes with all of this. Halderon Brightwing, 3 mana, 3/4 spider tanks. Spider tank stats, Battle Cry, give all your arcane spells in your deck, so not your hand, spell damage +1. So again, it feels like these don't like really amplify, like you want to stack all these effects, but they're slow, they're awkward, they're situational, and the payoff, just like the best payoff is Conjured Arrow. It definitely is, like dealing a lot of damage, I guess, to a minion, can't go face, but drawing a bunch of cards, but you can't do that till you have 6 mana. I don't know, this all just feels really slow, really awkward. I'm just not sold on it. I'm not sold on Arcane Spell Damage Hunter at all. We'll have to see how it plays out, but overall, this is just the most awkward. Like, even look at concoctions for Rogue. Even like some of those concoctions, like you don't even combine them, they're okay. Like 3 mana draw 2s, Arcane Intellect, whatever. It's not great, it's not terrible, but like a lot of these cards are like bad, and then you got to amplify it to make them okay, and you really got to amplify them to make them good. And in today's Hearthstone, when you got to work that hard, I'm not sold on it. So again, I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 5 in standard and wild. I don't see Arcane Spell Damage really working. The best card to me is the one that's like just okay on its own, Eversong Portal, but maybe it does come together. Maybe it stacks better than I'm thinking. It comes together better than I'm thinking, and you're running other spell damage cards like a Blood Mage or cards like that, and it makes it worth it. But it's like, what Hunter deck wants to do this outside of Quest Hunter, which is nerfed and hasn't been relevant, but maybe it boosted enough to make it relevant. I'm not sold on the package, and you guys know I love to get hyped about stuff. I typically overrate these days, and I just can't. But let me know in the comments below if you disagree with this. Maybe these cards are way better than I'm thinking. Like, God, we know I've been wrong plenty before. And, well, we got one more reveal coming later today in about 7 hours for Warlock, and then all the cards should be out. So one more review, stay tuned for that, and then Duels reveal comes tomorrow. So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.